Mickey Dickey here. Wanted to give an update on the shutdown of the government and how that went over this weekend. If you remember in my last conversations about this, or my last video about this, I talked about the fact that even if they did shut down, it was only going to be for a short moment in time where they're going to come out and try to make it look like they're heroes and make a big hullabaloo about this, which again, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the posturing. I'm tired of all the baloney. But here's a wonderful little clip I wanted to show you on what ended up happening. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. So just giving my comments on this.
Government was going to shut down. I don't know how many times you're going to count us out. But there's one thing you should start understanding, not just that I'll never give up, but I'm a type of conservative that wants to get things done.
Okay. Now, let's deal with this first question. How many times are you going to count them out? Literally every time, because you've given me nothing to actually count on you on. And even this, we told you from the beginning what we thought you were going to do, and you did it. So if you want me to stop counting you out, how about you actually do your job and get things done on a normal period of time? And as far as you getting things done, how about we not wait till the last 3 hours to get things done like this? Again, this is your job. This shouldn't have taken to the last 3 hours before this was shut down to go and do what had to be done. And it's only a 45-day segment anyhow. Now, I've got another video. I don't really want to listen to more of him, but I wanted to focus on him saying he gets things done. Because again, you didn't get things done here. You didn't get things done when it came to the budget. Tell me what you've actually gotten done, not in the last minute. That's what I'd like to hear. So when you start doing things ahead of time and you start planning ahead and stop waiting to the last 3 hours, then maybe I'll give you some more stuff. Until then, I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt.
What ultimately happened was that after trying again and again to get just Republican votes on a short-term spending bill, McCarthy couldn't get the votes, no matter how conservative he made that bill. And even say.
So again, you asked me how often we're going to count you out. Every time, because you can't get it done. Just what she said right here. You submitted stuff over and over again, and it still didn't get done. Again, show me when you actually do get things done. Then we'll talk.
Faced with the potential of his speakership being threatened, he finally decided to put a bill on the floor that got more Democratic votes than it did Republican votes.
Yeah.
Despite.
And then I ought to tell you something right there. I want to interject at this point. Please understand what this does for 45 days. Again, it just kicks the can down the road. So we really didn't do anything here other than give an extra 45 days for all the pomp and circumstance and the stupidity to continue to go on. But there's no spending cuts. There's no cuts to budget or border security, which, hey, there's a positive. There's no new funding for Ukraine. So as far as the Republican side of things, that's a good thing. The Democrats want more funding. But as far as what McCarthy is supposed to be doing for the Republican Party, nothing there. $16 billion for federal disaster assistance. Again, that was everything that Biden asked for in the government assistance or the federal disaster assistance. Not a penny cut. There was even a spot in there where the politicians were supposed to get pay raises. Now that got removed, but how did it even get in there? How do you submit something down the path when you guys can't get stuff done to give yourself raises? I don't even know how that was even put in there. Now, the big one going forward here is going to be whether or not McCarthy gets removed, or they suggest that he gets removed.
The fact that he didn't appear that he would head that way at all, and he very well could face a motion to vacate as early as next week.
Yeah, John, that was always looming as a card that McCarthy had left to play. There were a lot of doubts as to whether or not he was going to do it. What was your sense of how this played out and how McCarthy was saying he was being the adult in the room today? But I suppose adults also work on this stuff weeks in advance, so you don't have a last-minute deal to avoid.
Yeah, that's how most adults do it. I'm not exactly sure what adults he's looking at, which again, he's a politician, so he's probably looking at other politicians. So in relation to other politicians, I guess it doesn't matter the fact that you do work things ahead of time, get things done, and don't wait for the last minute, because most adults I know don't do that.
Avoid a government shutdown. But putting that to the side, your sense of how McCarthy dealt with this today?
Yeah, I was wondering, actually, I asked him that question today. I was in that press conference. We heard he may make this move last night. There was signs. He had said something. They'd met in the Capitol last night. Republicans, they had tried to pass a short-term funding bill, as you said, with just Republican votes. It failed really badly.
So let me get this straight. And I want you to hear this. If they were looking at this the night before, we're talking Saturday night, okay, that this happened. Now, this is, the video is after that, but so they're talking about Friday night. He had this thought process and this bill in his back pocket, which again, you don't write a bill and put things together in a moment anyway. So he's had this for quite some time. And we've been mucking around dealing with things that have nothing, there's no chance they're going to pass, because clearly every one of these things he's sent up there have just gotten hammered down. So what is the fallback? You just go back to what you had the night before. Nothing new, nothing special. So again, why did we wait till the last 3 hours to do this? Again, I don't understand. Where's the adult in the room? Because it sure isn't him.
His back was up against the wall. They started to signal, we may just do this one different bill that's more bipartisan. The key, though, for a lot of the Republicans was no Ukraine funding. That was the key. There's a growing anti-Ukraine funding sentiment in the House Republican Conference. In fact, among Republicans in Congress. So that was the key. And so we thought that might be a play today. It was a little bit surprising that he'd gone in this morning and he told his colleagues, I was going to do that. They kicked it around and then he went and did this. Back was up against the wall. His whole strategy, though, he seemed to signal for the last couple of days was, I'm going to try everything I can. When I'm out of options, I'm going to do this.
So once again, this wasn't just from the evening before. He's been talking about this for multiple days. Again, how adult is this? Let's just try everything else, and if it doesn't work, we'll go to this. I don't understand why we allow and continue to send people like this back to Congress or to the House or any of these positions. Why do we continue to vote for this moron? He cannot get things done. You can't tell me he's the best option we have for this. And again, I'm not just talking the speaker. I'm talking about in general. Is he the best that we can put up there for the House of Representatives and or the Senate? I know he's not in the Senate. I'm just saying there's a bunch of people like him that don't get anything done, that continue to get reelected, and I just don't understand it. And that's on us. As much as this is on him, us reelecting people is on us. And that's why we get idiots like this, is because we don't stand up and we don't get the right people in office. Again, my 2 cents worth here. One more thing on this.
Are you going to make a motion to vacate?
Speaker McCarthy made an agreement with House conservatives in January. And since then, he has been in brazen, repeated material breach of that agreement.
So again, one of us, if you remember, the first statement that he had on there is, when are you going to stop counting us out? Again, maybe when you stop going against what you said you're going to do. Maybe when you stop lying, which there's an old joke that, how do you know when a politician's lying? His mouth's moving. Here we have it.
This agreement that he made with Democrats to really blow past a lot of the spending guardrails we had set up is a last straw. And then overnight, I learned that Kevin McCarthy had a secret deal with Democrats on Ukraine. So as he was baiting Republicans to vote for a continuing resolution without Ukraine money, saying that we were going to jam the Senate on Ukraine, he then turns around and makes a secret deal. Now, I know you and I probably have different views on U.S. involvement in Ukraine, but however you think about that question, it should be subject to open review, analysis, and not some backroom deal.
So
I
motion to vacate tomorrow?
So let me understand this again. Your statement is you want to be an adult, you get things done, and when are we going to count you out? And you continue to do things like this, where you go behind your own Republican Party to set things up that they don't want. Again, I'm just flabbergasted by this. So one more question.
I do intend to file a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy this week. I think we need to rip off the Band-Aid. I think we need to move.
So this is going to be an interesting dichotomy for the rest of the week. There's a bunch of data going to come out, which one of the positive things that's coming out of this is that we're actually going to get the data that would not have come out this week if the government were shut down, but we're going to get out the different reports for employment and economic data that's going to be coming out this week. So that's going to be a positive thing. But it's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to if and when they do try to remove it. So just my 2 cents worth in general. I don't like it when people stand up there and just blatantly lie and ask, why don't you trust me, when you're just lying to us over and over and over and over again. Again, just my opinion. So that's where we're at. It'll be interesting to see how the week goes with the stock market and if this has any effect on the stock market at all. Again, talk to your financial advisor. Make sure your portfolio is set up so that you can retire when you want to retire and how you want to retire. Dickie out.